Board of Selectmen on May 16th, 2016 at 6:30 p.m. and it is a regular meeting. The first item on our agenda is Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have minutes from May 2nd.
I make a motion that we accept that we approve the minutes of May 2nd with the changes that I gave to Robin earlier. There's quite a few of them.
Yeah.
Just,
Like typos, just a couple typos on page,
yeah.
well, from the web, page 3. Just page 3?
No, keep going. I circled them.
Oh, and page 6.
Like, I don't know, pass it over so she can see. 'Cause
Yeah.
you know how it is when I'm trying to
They're
find.
just typos?
They're typed.
There's a lot on page 3, and then there's a couple on page 6.
Is page 3 started work? Yeah, it should be the same. So like right here, like the phone rang and she
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
finish.
Oh, yeah. Okay, it says, Board of Finance Chairman, would you like to add that it would be a good idea for everyone to discuss the position and understand the requirements of the position as well as addressing the needs of the group. It will be helpful when the next,
It's gotta be when the next
Meeting will be,
or
or.
it'll be helpful when the next
Oh,
budget season,
That's,
next
I think
budget
that's
season.
what it was, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, so then on at the bottom,
You
we
just get rid of
clarified
had.
that instead of had.
Right, and that just needs to be 2 and.
To, instead of so. And then on page,
Yeah, this
under
one
the
has-
department head reports, there's this an extra space after the words.
No, it's not, it's actually missing. It's- If you read it.
Asking them if they would be willing to attend selectmen meetings in the future to discuss. Oh,
What their departments are
to
doing.
discuss what their departments are doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what happens when the phone rings.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody comes to the window.
We're talking about like 30 times a day.
When people come to work, they're both permits.
All right. So you made a motion to accept that with those changes?
Yes.
I'll second that. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, and I didn't say it in the beginning, but John Blessington is not going to be here today. He's excused. So he has something else to do. Present to speak. Anybody here present to speak? Say something? Correspondence. You see it, Melissa?
Yeah, the taxpayers, 3 people responded to your question about first over.
Yep.
Okay, and did they care? Remember? It's okay.
I don't remember. I think most of them, 2 of them were in favor of closing it down for 2 months.
Yeah, but were those the 2 that came in after the deadline? What was the date that they came in?
5-2.
Yeah, those were the ones that wanted it open one line. The 2, sorry, wanted it open one line. And I explained to them the selectmen come back the night before.
Oh,
to
yeah.
go to the deadline.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we don't know what they're gonna decide. They asked us for our input and so we gave it to them, but
Okay.
we'll see.
There's a public hearing coming up on that. And they haven't scheduled it yet.
No.
But they're gonna have a public hearing?
Yeah, on the bridge.
Yeah. Basically, they told us what their plans were and asked us to weigh in on the decision. Then they're gonna go back to the drawing board and actually come up with their plan, and then they're gonna present that at the public hearing, which will be probably at the library.
Yeah.
So my status report, let's see. The senior housing cottages, I know they've been moving along over there. I haven't actually been over there, but I know Jim Rupert has, and he's been involved with the permits and the things like he's
And when I leave tonight, Okay, I'll drive down.
Yeah, you can see the road and you can see the foundations of where the house, the buildings are going. We're still working on getting estimates for the Old Town Hall. Turnpike Road, we had a lot of movement. There's all the approvals from wetlands and Army Corps of Engineers and the EP have come in. So now just have to wait for DOT to say, okay, go ahead, go out to bid. So that was a big deal. Dealville School Bridge, I think we submitted the stuff to DEP to get the permit that we need to get before we can go out to bid on that. And then, let's see, Willington Day, the planning is still underway, but it's coming along really good, and it looks like there's going to be a lot of vendors this year, so that's really good. And then I added all the new CIP items that were approved as part of the budget. One is the River Road Fitness Station, which you guys are investigating the options. That's what I put. Okay. The Senior Center septic re-permitting, that's going to be fun. We really have to get an engineer that's like really familiar with how to do all that. And I think,
Is it gonna be an issue?
well, it's been 10 years since the last, so you have to get it redone and we have to make sure that we do it the right way, so.
Well, you might get like a specialized engineer.
Yeah, because there's a lot to know and a lot of code has changed in the last 10 years, so we need to make sure we do it right. And then the same thing with the MS4 consulting and compliance, and I had actually made an inquiry to CROG, which is the Capital Region Council of Governments, because there's a lot of towns that belong to our regional Council of Government that have already been doing this MS4 stuff, but there's a lot of us new towns that are also part of CROG, and we're kind of all in the same boat where we need to start from scratch and come up with this, and so it's a lot of work, and it's pretty specialized, and it's going to be specialized for everybody because a lot changed in this new permit for all the towns. So I'm hoping that we can get somebody at a low cost and who really knows what they're doing to help us out with that. So, and then we're calling it the Public Works Environmental Configuration Engineering. That's the $25,000 to come up with a design for the salt shed and just the whole reconfiguration where the tanks are and all that. So that hasn't started yet, but we also have the new pickup truck for the animal control officer, which I know Derek and Tina have, and Robin, you were looking too at the state bid to make sure we get something that's under the amount that was allocated for it.
I take it that we'll be doing that right in July, right in
Yeah.
July, we'll be doing it.
Yes, that'll happen fast, I think. And then the town office building masonry and door replacement, because we need to do a lot of work to the front of the building, including the stairs and the ramp there. I'm not sure what we can do to repair that. And the planning and zoning plan of conservation and development, which it's been 10 years, it needs to be updated, and so they have to go out to bid on that. There's $60,000 put aside for that one. And then I added on here a line for Nutmeg Network because we are working on that, and I've had a lot of twists and turns in the process, but it's coming.
Willington, if we do it.
Nutmeg Network is coming to Wellington. It's in progress.
Well, that is if we can get the approval from Frontier, but I'm working on that. I threatened to pull it today.
Yeah.
I talked to Donna, I'm like, I'm gonna do it. Cause they won't, Frontier's giving us a hard time with our, insurance coverage. They want us to carry a $7 million umbrella when we only have a $5 million. And if we up it to 7, we really have to, you have to go up to 10 and our premium is gonna increase. And we're budgeted, like, we're locked in to what we're at, so
And it's just because we have a couple of holes that we need to put this thing on.
7
holes.
So I threatened to yank it, and they came back and asked me if they decide to go with the $5 million umbrella, if we would promise to do it for next year. And I'm not able to answer that.
How promised to do what, up
to
to,
up it to 7.
but you can't, you have to do 10, right?
Well, right, and I don't know how much it is, but I just told them I don't want to spend money, so. I have to look into it, but.
Why is it that they want it so high?
I don't know, but the thing is, I was told that every town has the right of way, or the right to, we own a portion of the poles, every pole. I don't know, I'm not sure, I'm gonna look into it.
I also added a line for the crumbling foundation issue.
Basement walls.
Basement walls, crumbling basement walls,
Right.
very important.
Very important.
Because it looks like we're gonna be planning a meeting with all the assessors and all the affected towns and all the town managers and first selectmen of the affected towns to try to get some clarity from the state on this new law that they just passed. So that should be interesting.
Yes.
And they need to do that soon because the law takes effect in October.
Did they change it though to basement walls, is that?
No, that's just
Oh, okay.
It's
lingo.
insurance lingo.
Oh, okay,
lingo.
just sorry.
An important distinction.
Yes.
You know. So yeah, in Public Works, I just saw that. Okay, here's what Derek says that they've been doing. Grading gravel roads, removing the landscape timbers and swing sets from Hall School, sweeping of the roads, and this year they finished last week on the 12th, which I think is a record for how fast they finished sweeping, so that's pretty good. They spent some time at Hall's Pond grading the beach, trimming hazardous branches, and they finished their spring cleaning. They're doing a lot of equipment repairs. They mowed the old landfill. They checked the catch basin tops for replacement on this year's paving route, which is what they're going to start doing this week, is replacing them. And they were moving some furniture around up in the tax office and in Robin's office too. Yeah, so.
Getting their leftovers.
And then today he had to go and deal with something over at the Old Town Hall, which,
Oh,
did
yeah.
we find out if it was okay?
Yeah, we don't know, it's a pipe of some sort is leaking, so we turned the water off until he can get in there on Wednesday to investigate.
Okay. All right, so now we're on to new business, and we have two of our department heads here. We have Maureen Parcell from Parks and Rec and Jenny Arpin from Wellington Youth and Family Services. So, Robin put you in first, Maureen.
Okay.
But if that's how you guys want to do it, it doesn't really matter.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
I'm Maureen Purcell, the Director of Parks and Recreation, and I'll just fill you in a little bit about our department. We are in charge of the parks here in town. River Road Athletic Complex is one, Center School, Hall School, and the fields behind the town office building. We have landscapers that come out to mow, fertilize, take care of the baseball fields. It's a lot for them to take care of. So we went out to bid, I think 2 years ago. We have a landscaping company that comes in, and they're doing a really great job. I'm also working with Derek. We went out, it looks like some of the fencing needs some repair behind the baseball fields, the backstop. So I've been working with Derek on that too, to see what Public Works can help to cut down costs for repair. But everything, it looks great. We're working down at River Road. We're looking at installing through a grant, some fitness stations. We're looking at 4 fitness stations to put around the outside track. I don't know if anybody drives by the athletic complex, but it's a pretty hopping place. We have soccer clubs that are down there. Little League is down there every night. There's the playground for kids and the basketball court, and there's a lot going on down there.
And the
We
walkers.
just finished,
Don't forget all the walkers.
and the walkers, they have the outside track. There's people down there all the time. So they have kids that are playing, if they're playing sports, then they have the parents that are walking around on the track.
So we were looking at the fitness stations through the grant that Christina was talking about. And we're looking at installing those this summer. I did find a company, actually Vernon is installing some fitness stations in a park. And they're working on theirs right now, so I'm checking out the company that they're using. So hopefully those will be installed this summer, which will be great there's a lot of people that are looking for that. It seems every time I'm down at the park, I have somebody that's walking on the park asking me about, what are you guys gonna do next? There's been a lot of new things down there. We just installed a scoreboard for Little League for opening day. That was up. We have a new concession shed, so Little League has concessions down there for all their games. We installed lighting for them, so they're all pretty happy. Let's see, the other things that Parks and Rec does. We offer programs, we have trips, bus trips for people. We're working with some of the surrounding towns, Coventry, Ellington, Tolland, Mansfield, to put together bus trips for our townspeople. We just did a trip to Boston, a day on your own to Boston, which was very successful. We have a Red Sox game coming up in June. We have James Taylor coming up. So there's a variety of different trips for everybody. I'm also working on putting together a teen trip this summer for kids to go to the Brownstone Quarry. So I'm hoping we can get some kids together for that. Let's see, we have, for our sporting programs here in town, the Parks and Rec Department, we have our recreational basketball program, which is a very successful program. We have, let's see, how many teams? This year we had 9 youth teams. We have an instructional program, and then we have kids up through 8th grade, and we also have a high school program as well. This year we had 3 high school teams and 9 youth teams along with our instructional program. 3 of our youth teams won their championship games, and 1 of our high school teams won their championship game, and we had 3 of our teams that came in 2nd place. So it was pretty exciting this year. And there is a need for basketball. These kids really seem to want to play basketball all year round. River Road, it's busy down there. The basketball court is busy all the time. So I am working with some of our volunteer coaches to put together a summer program, hoping that we can put together some clinics and some pickup games down at River Road and some 3-on-3 tournaments. The kids talk about basketball all the time. Whenever you drive by River Road, they're down there all the time. So hopefully this will work well for them. Some other programs we have a volleyball program, we have a fencing program. We offer golf lessons through Skunk-a-Mug in Coventry. We also have a kayak and snowshoe loaner program. We got these kayaks and snowshoes through a grant through the Eastern Highlands Health District. So we have 5 kayaks for loan, and we have several sets of snowshoes for loan. These are free to our townspeople. They just need to call and reserve them, and they're free for them to use. Let's see. I think that's been it. River Road, I am looking at doing a few more things down at River Road this year. With the concession stand that's all set up now, we have electricity down there. I am looking at possibly starting maybe concerts in the park. I know Jenny is doing crafts down there, which she started last year, which was very successful with her kids. And I'm hoping to maybe work with her and do something for the parents when they bring their kids down there. So maybe yoga while their kids are doing crafts with Jenny. Maybe we can have a instructors down there to do yoga or Tai Chi, or running programs down there. So those are things that we're kind of looking at, and we're working closely together to do some things together for our townspeople. So that's about it.
Can I ask a couple questions? Okay. So on the concession stand, do the Little League, they keep all the money?
We do.
And who pays electrical? Is there electricity down there? There's electricity. Is that, do we put that and they?
We do. Parks and Rec does.
We do? Okay. They don't like donate a little towards that, or give a little towards that?
No, they have not. We are actually working with them. We're hoping that they will help keep up some of the things down there. So we just installed a scoreboard for them. And we had posts that were put in. We asked them to paint the posts so that it keeps down the wear and tear of the posts. We asked them to put down some stone gravel underneath the bleachers because they can't get in to mow under there, so the grass is growing kind of high. So we're working with them and asking them to help out a little bit and do some things for us.
Okay, all right. I just,
And other groups, like when it's soccer season, the soccer groups can use that concession stand too. It's not
They
just-
can, but soccer pays for the rental of the fields.
right.
So, and they did ask to use the concessions, and they are welcome to use that as well. And it helps fund their programs.
Right, I just thought, like if, they just donated a little on a monthly basis, at least for the offset the electricity, so that it doesn't, the town's not dishing out that.
Right, I think the lighting that was put in the concession stands is a low,
So it doesn't use.
it doesn't use a lot of electricity,
Right.
so, but we can look at that.
Okay, just a thought. And then are you offering swim lessons this year?
No, that is one thing, no. I don't think we're going to do that this year, but it is something that I'm looking at for the future. I think there's a lot of people in town that don't know a lot about Halls Pond. I think there's a lot of younger families that don't know about Halls Pond. So I am working on raising awareness. I am using Facebook as a means to do that. I've met with the PTA, and we are going to try to work on some things this summer to generate some awareness over there. Swimming lessons though, and camp, I know it happened in years past, and I know it was really popular.
And then it went down?
Well, I'm not quite sure what happened. We've had a lot of interest in summer camp. We've had a lot of people saying, hey, are you guys gonna bring back summer camp? We would love to do that, and Jenny and I have talked about it. Jenny did it, she did an April camp. I'm not gonna talk about your summer camp. No. Jenny did a summer camp this year, over April break. I'm sorry, she did a April camp.
Yes.
And it was great. She had 14 kids in there.
It's very good.
And I went over and had a little running program with the kids that were there, which they loved that. It was a great camp. She had great counselors over there. But a lot of those parents have asked, are you guys gonna do a summer camp? So I don't know if we could really pull it together
Right.
at such a late date this year, but we are definitely talking about it.
Good, okay.
And even people outside of the parents that were at camp have asked. So we are definitely talking about it.
Okay, thanks. That's all I got.
Anybody from the crowd have a question for Maureen?
They're mushrooms.
Okay. So Jenny, thank you, Maureen. Jenny, you're up.
All right, so I'm Jenny Arpin. I'm the Director of Youth, Family, and Social Services, which also includes senior services. So the way I structured my presentation was to kind of touch on some of the services that I offer for these various groups. So like Maureen was saying, in terms of youth services, I did just offer an April camp program, and that was very successful. It hadn't been run last year, but this year I had 14 children that participated, and it was a week full of activities and crafts and running and all sorts of fun stuff, and it was very good. Everyone really enjoyed that. I offer preschool programming 2 days a week at the library, and then I also have a play group that's relatively unstructured one day at the library rather. And as Maureen was saying, I also will be doing crafts in the park again this July. I ran that last year. It was very successful. It was very low cost, and it was a lot of fun. I got to meet a lot of wonderful children and families in the town, and I got quite a following to the point where I started getting the same group of kids and parents coming every week, so I'll be doing that again this year. For family services, I held through the month of March a successful diaper drive to assist families in need with affording diapers and wipes for their small children. And as you may know, diapers and wipes are not covered by food stamps or WIC, so if you're on a limited income, that's a financial burden. I'm looking at improving our back to school program this fall. Typically I distribute gift cards from Payless Shoes, and if I have a backpack, I give it to them. I don't think that's good enough. So this year I'm going to do a drive throughout the entire summer to collect pencils and pens and backpacks and all sorts of things. And Brenda was kind enough to give me a list of some of the school supplies that are frequently needed, so that way I can reach out to families and say, you know, these are the kind of things that I'm looking for. I have a sharing of information agreement right now with the schools, which is where the families that qualify for free or low-cost lunch can also opt to hear about some of the programs that my department is offering. So that's another way of disseminating that information. Oh, and I have a campership fund, thanks to a generous donation from the Mansfield Lions Club. So I'm able to, with this sum of money, to allow families that have limited income to afford to send their children to camp or do recreational activities. And I structured the program in such a way where, you know, it's income-based, and the program style that I use, they are now using in Ashford. And we also offer an annual holiday program which provides food and gifts to families and residents in need at the holidays. This past year we serviced over 50 families. In terms of social services, my department operates the emergency food pantry, where residents in need can come every month to get canned or dry goods, eggs when we have them, and produce in the summer, which is frequently donated. In conjunction with that, I started a community closet, which is open at the same time, where residents in need who are going to the food pantry can also have access to coats, clothes, shoes, things like that. I'm experimentally opening the food pantry on Fridays, just to see if that's a better time or good to have an additional time. I've also been working with SafeNet Ministries out of Stafford, who, if you're familiar with Stafford on Main Street, they have the big food pantry there. And I've been trying to collaborate with them either in terms of being able to refer people with more dietary specific needs that our food pantry can't accommodate, or to work with them in another way to see if we can maybe improve the way we're running our food pantry. We also run the fuel bank, and the fuel bank allows for a one-time benefit to assist residents in need with affording their oil and heating costs in the winter. We've started a community garden this year, and that's going to be for the benefit of area seniors and residents in need. And I also assist people with applying for programs such as SNAP, which is food stamps, Medicaid, energy assistance, which is in the fall, and renter's rebate, which is in the spring. In terms of senior services, we have an elderly companion outreach program called Friendly Visitors. I'm looking at additional options in terms of providing transportation to our elderly and disabled residents in need. Costs on our current program have gone up, so I'm looking at other options and reaching out to other towns and seeing what they're doing, what's working, what's not. This week I'm going over to Willington Woods to offer renter's rebate assistance to people who may qualify. Frequently what I do in the spring is I go over there for 2 days, and if people want to talk to me and see if they can qualify, then they don't have to leave, so it's very convenient. I'm just right there in the community room. And I also offer resources to senior citizens around elder care, and as a certified choices counselor, which is Medicare stuff, I help people navigate those systems. And of course, anyone who may be familiar with social services knows sometimes something or someone comes into your office that has a need that doesn't fall within any of those categories, in which case I do my very best to assist them by giving them information and resources and referrals.
Do you ever go home?
Maybe, sometimes.
That's great.
And she's our veteran service contact.
Oh, that's right,
Oh, that's
I am, and the
great.
municipal agent of the elderly, yes.
With the municipal agent for veterans too.
That's right.
Yeah, I know the, both.
You ladies doing a great job. Good work.
Thanks.
And it's perfectly put together, they actually showed us the same office suite, they have the entrance over in the back here now together, and I think it's been going
Is it
well.
working well?
Oh,
Yeah.
great, absolutely.
Yeah.
Good. Good. Because it's kind of, you know, to say like it's the recreation department and the youth and family services department is sort of misleading because it's just the two of you, so.
I know, she kept saying and we, and I'm thinking, who's?
I know,
Who else is
I know.
with her?
It's the royal we.
Oh.
Yeah,
There's a lot of things we can do together.
yeah,
There's a lot of different programs we can do.
yeah, so that's going good. Does anybody have any questions for these guys?
Yes.
Huh?
You said you mentioned your Facebook pages, and I never heard of them. Can you put them out to the town's Facebook pages, make sure that there's a link or something so I
That's a
can
good
find
idea.
it?
Yeah,
Because
we
I don't,
had technical difficulties, we
Yeah.
tried to do that once, but
just
I
name
never-
them in the.
that was before we could get on Facebook onto the computer.
Right.
But
We're
could you
gonna
put it
try that
on their
again.
pages on the website, you know, a link to their
How
Facebook?
did we do with Tina? I think we did something like we liked Tina's page, because we were having a problem with her too, the animal control web page, or Facebook page.
But on the website, like under recreation department, couldn't there be a link, you know, to
Yeah,
Facebook, the little
it's- yeah,
Facebook symbol that goes
We were
right
doing it on
there?
a cell phone, and it wasn't, you know.
Right.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
wasn't working.
Yeah.
And that was, I think, Facebook has
Just
changed
you
some
put it
things
on
your
about how you
website.
can do that.
Right.
Yeah, because the town's page is set up as a municipal page,
Yep,
so there's all these restrictions of what you can and can't do on that,
Right.
and it's hard. It's, you can't just like, you know, I can like look at, if we up here, we don't pay for it.
Yeah, we
That's-
don't want to pay.
It would be helpful because we advertise a lot
Oh, yeah.
of our things on Facebook.
the one thing I was thinking about was the donations you were looking for on the list.
Yes, it's all on there.
And I belong to a couple of groups that could probably run some kind of, you know, drive or something, but you need to know what you're driving towards to get
Right.
there.
Yeah, that's what most
Good
things.
idea.
Yep. Well, I'll spend some time figuring that out.
Thank you.
Forgot. All right, well, thank you guys. All right, well, moving on to item C, crumbling foundation meeting debrief. Last week, there was a big meeting at U.S. Smith High School with, that was set up by the towns of Mansfield, Willington, Tolland, and Coventry. And it came out of a discussion that we, all the town leaders were having with Nancy Wyman as she was briefing all of us on what's been going on. And we said, they offered, she and Jonathan Harris, who's the Commissioner of Consumer Protection, had offered to come out to any towns to